Danny Segura for MMAfighting.com here in New York City at the UFC 244 Media Day. I'm with Coach Firas Zahabi, who's gearing up to help Kevin Lee get ready for his fight against Gregor Gillespie here at UFC 244. Coach, there's a lot to talk to you about. First of all, let's just talk about why we're here for you. You're obviously coaching Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee's somewhat of a new student to your gym. First of all, how did you guys connect? How has his adaptation and process been at the gym? Because I know he was looking for gyms for some time.
Yeah, we met up in LA. We got connected via the CAA. We're both managed by the same company. We had a dinner once together with CAA. Kevin was there. We talked about training the next day together. We did. We enjoyed the experience. We kind of clicked. And then after a little bit of time, he wanted to visit different gyms, do something different. He had suffered a couple of losses. And after visiting a few gyms, including Tristar, he decided on Tristar Gym. He felt like it's the best place for him. And we're preparing. This is our first training camp together.
A lot was made. I mean, usually pundits look at Kevin Lee. Clearly, he's an athlete. World-class fighter, but a lot was said about he needed a stable, a solid training camp, right? A solid camp, a solid team to be around with. Did you feel that as well when you started training him? Like this guy just needed to stick with one team and kind of have be under one roof.
I think fighters do need to explore, see what else is out there, what's the best fit for them. I think it was wise. I mean, he's still working with Dewey Cooper, still working with his team. They're a great team. We're just trying to shuffle the deck a bit, try to find a new recipe, try to explore a new recipe that works for him. And he's got great trainers, great training camp, great training partners. We just want to add to it. And it's just about finding a recipe that works for him. That's really what it's about.
He's coming down from welterweight, fighting back at 155. How do you feel about him dropping back down? Do you feel like this is his optimal weight class, lightweight?
I'm hoping so. This is my first time doing a weight cut with him, so I'm hoping it goes smooth. It looks like we're on track. I think he's more of a natural lightweight than a welterweight.
Yeah. And Gregor Gillespie, interesting test there. Very, very good wrestler. What were some of the challenges that you ran into this training camp when preparing for someone like Gregor?
Well, of course, we don't want to stuff the takedowns. We want to put Gregor on his back. We want to put hands on Gregor, of course. Everybody knows Gregor is a phenomenal wrestler. He's tenacious. His forward pressure. You got to stop that runaway train. We all know what his game plan is, and it's a good game plan, and he makes it work. The question is, can he make it work against Kevin? That's what we're gonna find out Saturday night.
Looking forward to that fight. Fantastic lightweight bout. It's gonna be a fun fight for all the grappling fans out there. Now let's switch gears and talk about Rory MacDonald. You were in his corner for the Douglas Lima fight, right?
Yes, that's correct.
First of all, he's been having a little bit of a transformation in his personal life. I talked to him about it. He seems he's past it, and he says he's no longer fighting sort of with that anger that he always had that fueled him throughout his fights. Just curious, what was kind of like the process of adjustment, training-wise, with dealing with Rory and preparing him for his fights?
Well, we're preparing to neutralize that leg kick, and I felt that Rory did that very well actually in the fight. I was very happy. If you obviously remember the first fight, that leg was tenderized. He was 1 or 2 kicks away from not being able to walk on that leg. I feel that he went back to the drawing board. He found a good solution to that, and now the game plan needs to be readjusted for a little more offense. I felt those rounds were really close. Even though they went to Lima, they were all very close. They were very competitive. I think now Rory, he's figured out a way to stop that leg kick. The next thing is to figure out more offensive attacks. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they fight again.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Very strong possibility. Yeah. And I think Rory's going to not only neutralize the leg kick, but attack more. Yeah. He'll be more offensive.
It's one apiece. You'd like to see a trilogy?
Yeah, down the line, yes.
Now let's switch gears again. Let's talk about another one of your fighters, GSP. It seems he wants to fight Khabib, although that's died down a little bit, but nonetheless he's expressed interest in that fight. Khabib has expressed interest in that fight. Obviously, a huge fight. We know the UFC loves big fights. Why didn't it come to fruition? It seems it would benefit all parties involved.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure, why it didn't come to fruition. I think George making 155 is a thing of the past now. I don't think it's a possibility. I mean, it's really up to George. I don't want to talk for George. That's something he would have to decide, but I don't know. Does George want to be champion again? That's something, I think the media would have to ask him. I'm sure he has mixed feelings about it. I think he likes fighting. He would want to do one mega fight, but would you want to fight every 3 months? You know, if you win a title, they expect you to fight, defend the title. It's fair. If you won the title, you're champion. It's not doesn't make sense to just walk away.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But does George want to be champion again and live the lifestyle that he did in his 20s? I don't know.
Obviously, a huge commitment. And I know you kind of just touched about it in talking with the Submission Radio boys, but you know, a lot has been said when he retired. Is he the greatest of all time? Most people do have him up in that position.
Eliminate anybody who's been flagged by USADA, and of course he's the greatest of all time, easily. How come in wrestling, if you get flagged, they take away every title you've ever had?
That's true.
Why in MMA we just slap you on the wrist for 6 months? Why? What's the difference? We're hitting each other in the head. It should be the opposite. Listen, you're riding a bicycle. This championship, you cheated. We're not going to take away all your championships. You're riding a bicycle. That makes sense to me. You're hitting other human beings in the head, and you're supercharged with steroids and testosterone. In my opinion, you should be eliminated from all the history book. It's unacceptable. You know, we're putting our health on the line here. People are putting their health.
100%. And I think even with that aside, I think he obviously still has the case to be the greatest.
With that
double
aside,
champ.
With that aside.
Yeah.
But with that on the table, it's unarguable anymore. It's unarguable that he's the greatest of all time. I mean, listen, if he wasn't a fighter I was training, I would still say that. Khabib may surpass him, but he has to be champion for many years still, and he has to defend his title many years, and he has to stay as dominant as he has. He's a candidate. He hasn't done it yet, but he's a candidate.
All right, Firas, well, appreciate the time. Best of luck on Saturday night with Kevin Lee, and yeah, thank you so much for your time.